So we turn now to Korean art, and we want to remember the slogan, "Geography is Destiny," one of our recurring themes, whether it's the monsoon rains of South Asia or the silk routes of China to the west. Geography plays a powerful role in the story of art and culture. And Korea's geography is unique. It is a peninsula of its own, surrounded by sea. That makes it quite independent. Yet, at the same time, it borders China, which actually established a colony on Korea during the Han Dynasty. And since that time, Korea has integrated China's cultural tradition into its own. And then on the east, it neighbors Japan, a nation of islands that is very close to the tip of Korea's peninsula. And in fact, those two neighbors had a great deal of cultural exchange from a very early time. Korea, in fact, transmitted Buddhist teachings and art to Japan. So Korea has been in partnership with China and Japan artistically throughout much of its history. So there's a quality of kind of exchange of gifts that has happened culturally. At the same time, we have to acknowledge that Korea has also experienced traumatic histories, in particular, a brutal period of subjugation by Japan, when Japan exerted colonial rule over Korea from 1910 to 1945. So there's a very complex history and cultural relationship that Korea has had with its neighbors. Korea also has a very strong strand of indigenous artistic tradition that goes way back to its earliest Neolithic settlements, and we have found pottery from 4,000, okay, there's a typo in there, that should be 4,000 BCE. The combed pattern pottery that has these kind of grooves is one of the notable features. And one of the things that's important is that the Korean Neolithic peoples developed iron and bronze technologies between 1000 BCE to 1 CE. And so we see a cultural transition where they then, as usually happens with the development of iron and bronze, they develop more complex social hierarchies, very stratified societies with elaborate burials. And so those societies are the ones we study when we look at what's called the Three Kingdoms era, when the peninsula is divided into rival kingdoms that were often at war with each other. But all of those stratified societies focused their art production again on the tombs of the rulers. In that general sense, very similar to what we saw in China, but you will see as you explore this period in more depth that the art is very distinct, especially glamorous and captivating and dazzling are these astonishing gold crowns that are found in Shilla Kingdom tombs that we will look at in depth. So the Three Kingdoms period ends when the Shilla Kingdom, the makers of these magnificent crowns, managed to take control of the entire peninsula and become the unified rulers. Perhaps it was the amazing powers in the crown that you will be studying. The unified Shilla Kingdom will end its rule over the Korean peninsula in 935 when the Goryeo dynasty takes control and rules until 1392. So in this module, you really only have three historical periods that you are dealing with. What I think you will enjoy is that you have an amazing array of different kinds of artworks, from ceramics to paintings to sculpture to the gold crowns, even sacred texts. So enjoy the variety, which tells a rich story of how much art was made for so many purposes over this time period.